This video is about the alpha found his fated mate, but she was already engaged to another. If the story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high, bathing the ancient forest in silver light, casting shadows that danced among the trees. The air was thick with the scent of pine and the earthy musk of the night. Deep within this enchanted wood, the Dark Rune Pack gathered for their full moon ritual, a celebration of their unity and strength. At the heart of the pack, standing tall and commanding, was Alpha Kalan. Kalan was a force of nature, his zephyr gleaming like fire in the moonlight, eyes glinting like shards of amber. He was known for his strength and unyielding will, but tonight something deeper called to him. As the pack howled in unison, their voices harmonizing with the wild essence of the night, Kalan felt an undercurrent of longing and ache in his soul he couldn't understand. "Alpha, are you alright?" his beta, Ryan, asked, concern etched on his face. Kalan turned his gaze to Ryan, hiding the turbulent storm inside him. "Just the moon playing tricks," he replied, forcing a smile. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that something or someone was missing. The night wore on, laughter echoing through the trees, but Kalan found himself retreating into the shadows, seeking solitude under the ancient oak that marked the heart of their territory. The full moon illuminated the clearing, unveiling the beauty of the night. And then he saw her. She stood at the edge of the clearing, ethereal and breathtaking. The moonlight cascaded around her like a silver veil, catching her long, ebony hair and illuminating the features of her delicate face. It was Alara, the daughter of the neighboring Silverwind Pack as Alpha. Her laughter rang like music through the night, and for a moment time stood still. Kalan's heart thundered in his chest, the overwhelming pull of destined mate surged through him. But then, reality crashed down like a thunderclap. Alara was engaged to Rowan, the Silverwind Alpha, a union forged to strengthen their pack's alliance. Kalan, Ryan's voice broke through his reverie. "Don't go near her, you know the consequences." Kalan clenched his fists, his wolf raging against the confines of his human form. "But she's my mate." Ryan's expression shifted, sympathy mingling with caution. "You must respect the bond she has. Challenging Rowan would only bring conflict. Remember our pack's honor." The words stung, but Kalan couldn't tear his eyes away from Alara. She was radiant, laughing with her friends, the joy radiating from her like a beacon. He stepped closer, the instinct to protect and claim blooming within him. "Kalan," Ryan hissed, his urgency clear. "You mustn't." But Kalan was already moving, driven by a force beyond his control. Alara turned, her eyes meeting his. In that moment, the world faded away, leaving just the two of them, bound by a connection that transcended reason. "Alpha Kalan," she said softly, her voice a gentle breeze. "What brings you here?" He swallowed hard, the weight of her gaze igniting a fire deep within him. "I came to celebrate, but all I can think of is you." Her smile faltered, and the warmth in her eyes dimmed. "You shouldn't say that. I am engaged to Rowan, you know this." "A destiny doesn't care about engagements," he replied, his voice low and intense. "You re my mate, Alara." The truth hung between them, palpable and electric. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to hold its breath. Alara's expression shifted, torn between elation and dread. "I can see," she whispered, pain etched across her face. "Rowan is yes good to me, my father." "Your father is forcing you into a life that isn't yours," Kalan interrupted, desperation creeping into his voice. "You deserve happiness, not a political alliance." "Enough," she snapped, her fury igniting. "You don't understand. This is my duty." "Your duty?" Kalan spat, anger boiling. "What about your heart? What about us?" Alara looked down, anguish flaring in her eyes. "You don't know what you be asking. If I defy him..." "Then defy him," he urged, taking a step closer, his heart aching for her. "Choose your own path, choose me." She shook her head, pain etching deeper lines across her brow. "I can just abandon my pack, Rowan." "Rowan will understand nothing of love," Kalan growled, frustration mounting. "He'll see you as a pawn, a means to an end. I want you, Alara, wholly and fiercely." Alara's breath hitched, torn between her duty and the undeniable bond they shared. "How can you ask me to betray him?" "It isn't betrayal," Kalan replied vehemently, his voice dropping to a whisper. "It is living for what is right, for what is meant to be." She looked away, gazing at the moon. "I've always believed in destiny, but this feels wrong." Kalan's heart sank, but he refused to give up. "You can deny what is in your heart. It is calling to you, just as it calls to me." Alara met his gaze, her resolve wavering. "What if it leads to war? What if we destroy everything? Then let it burn, he replied fiercely. I'd rather face a world of ashes with you than live a lifetime without you. You are my mate, Alara. Tears glistened in her eyes, and Kaelin reached out, brushing a stray hair behind her ear. The softness of her skin ignited a spark of longing in him, but she stepped back, breaking the moment. I can see, she breathed, her voice cracking. I am so sorry, Kaelin. With that, she turned and walked back toward the festivities, leaving Kaelin standing in the shadows, heartbroken and furious. As the pack celebrated, he felt the oppressive weight of fate crushing down around him. He had found his mate, but the very fabric of destiny had tangled in a web of duty and loyalty. Kaelin's world drifted beneath him, the moonlight now casting shadows over our heart torn in two. The ache of rejection burned deeply, but beneath that pain was a flicker of hope. If destiny had brought them together, perhaps it could also break the chains that bound her. And so, he vowed silently, he would fight for their love, whatever the cost. As the night deepened, Kaelin's resolve hardened. Alara was his, and he would not let her slip away so easily. The moon, a silent witness, shone brightly overhead, illuminating the path ahead, a path filled with challenges, conflicts, and a love that defied all odds. The moon continued its celestial dance, a ghostly sentinel overseeing the turmoil in Kaelin's heart. The revelry of the full moon celebration echoed through the trees, a mocking reminder of the joy he felt was slipping from his grasp. He stood rooted beneath the ancient oak, consumed by feelings of betrayal and longing. Kaelin, Ryan's voice interrupted his thoughts once more, a mixture of sympathy and concern etched across his features as he approached. You need to let her go, it is for the best. Kaelin turned sharply, emotions swirling in a tempest. You don't understand, Ryan. She is my mate. How can I simply walk away? Ryan exhaled, his shoulders sagging under the weight of his friend's pain. Your duty is to our pack. Think of the consequences if you challenge Rowan. It could spark a war and lives could be lost. I cannot live a lie, Kaelin growled, his hands clenching into fists. I want to stand by and watch the love of my life be forced into an empty marriage. Love does not trump loyalty, Ryan replied, his brow furrowing in frustration. We have to think of our pack, Kaelin. There are greater stakes at play. Kaelin inhaled sharply, the air thick with the scent of pine and crushed earth. But what about Alara's happiness? Doesn't that mean something? If I can save her from Rowan, His voice trailed off, filled with despair. Ryan stepped closer, placing a hand on Kaelin's shoulder. We'll find a way. Let us talk to the elders, seek counsel. Perhaps there is a resolution that won't lead to bloodshed. Kaelin shook his head, the memory of Alara's hurt eyes flooding back to him. There is no resolution that will allow me to walk away. My heart will always belong to her. As the night deepened, Kaelin withdrew, seeking solace within the confines of the dark moon territory. He wandered through the forest, the shadows clinging to him like a second skin. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if the earth itself mourned the bond that fate had entwined. He stopped at the edge of a cliff, overlooking the valley bathed in moonlight. The silver glow washed over the land, illuminating the path to the Silverwind Pack's territory. He could almost feel Alara's presence, a gentle whisper in the breeze. It was both a comfort and a torment. Why must destiny be so cruel? He murmured, his voice barely breaking the quiet of the night. Why must love come hand in hand with loss? Suddenly, a rustling in the underbrush caught his attention. He tensed, instincts flaring as the form of a wolf emerged to Rowan, the Silverwind Alpha, his fur glistening like dark clouds before a storm. Kaelin, Rowan greeted, his voice low and dangerous. What a surprise to see you here, so close to my territory. Kaelin stepped forward, his wolf bristling beneath his skin. I am not here to fight, Rowan. I am here for Alara. Rowan's eyes narrowed, the intensity of his gaze a challenge. You should know better than to pursue what is mine. Alara is bound to me, and she will honor that bond. She doesn't belong to you, Kaelin fired back, his heart racing. You don't own her. You only see her as a means to an end. The air thickened with tension, a storm brewing between the two alphas. Watch your words, Kaelin, Rowan warned, stepping closer, his posture aggressive. You are treading dangerous ground. I'll tread where I please, Kaelin shot back, fury igniting in him. You think you can keep her under your thumb? I won't allow it. Rowan's lips curled into a dangerous smile. You'll regret this. The rejection of our union will not go unpunished. Your pack will suffer. Kaelin felt the weight of Rowan's threat like a physical blow. He recowered to hide behind power and threats. If Alara is forced to choose between us, I won't let her tyranny take her from me. With that, Kaelin turned and stormed back toward the Dark Moon territory, his heart pounding with a mix of anger and fear. As he navigated through the trees, he couldn't help but wonder how he could protect Alara from the inevitable conflict. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between the packs escalated. Whispers of war filled the air, darkening the nights with anxiety. Kaelan spent sleepless nights plotting, seeking guidance from the pack elders. He refused to let Alara slip through his fingers without a fight. Finally, on the eve of another full moon, Kaelan decided to confront Alara again, to plead his case once more. He made his way to the Silverwind territory, his heart pounding in his chest. Each step felt like a declaration of war, and yet it was made with love. The moon hung like a guardian, illuminating a path through the trees. As he neared the pack-esque clearing, he spotted Alara speaking with her friends, her laughter mingling with the night air. But when her eyes met his, joy and fear warred across her features. Kaelan, she breathed, moving away from her companions. You shouldn't be here, it's dangerous. Let them come, he said, his voice imbued with determination. I won't let them take you away from me, not now, not ever. Alara's eyes widened, and for a moment, he saw a flicker of hope before it was swallowed by doubt. You don't understand, Kaelan, Rowan will what hurt me? I'd rather face pain than live a life without you. You are my mate, Alara, don't deny it. Her gaze flickered to the ground, anguish painting her features. I don't know what to do. My father expects this union to strengthen our packs. My whole life has been about duty. Then let us change everything, Kaelan urged, stepping closer, his heart racing as he reached for her hands. Let us challenge the way things are. You deserve to live for yourself, not for someone else's ambition. Tears burned in her eyes, and she looked up, vulnerability etched into her expression. I've never felt this way before, Kaelan. I've been trapped between duty and desire. You make me feel alive, but I am terrified. Then let us be terrified together, he whispered, desperation threading his voice. Face the unknown side by side. I'll fight for you. I'll fight for us. The silence between them hung heavy, filled with unspoken words and trembling emotions. Alara's breath hitched as she pulled her hands away, a sorrowful shake of her head breaking through the moment. I can hurt Rowan. He has always been there for me. I can betray him. Whether you see it or not, this is not betrayal, he said fiercely. This is about your happiness. Please, Alara, choose for yourself. In that moment, a howl echoed through the night, a sound that reverberated through Kaelan's bones. It was Rowan, rallying his pack, an ominous reminder that time was running out. You have to decide, Alara, Kaelan said urgently, his heart racing. Before it is too late. She stood frozen, the weight of the world on her shoulders. I need time. Time is running out, Kaelan replied, desperation clawing at him. Rowan won't wait. He'll force a union that will break us both. The light in her eyes dimmed as she stepped back. I can be the cause of conflict. Then what will you do? Kaelan challenged, his voice breaking. Will you let fear dictate your life? As Rowan's voice grew closer, Alara's determination faltered. I can. Kaelan stepped forward, desperation pouring from him. You have to fight for your love. If you don't, you'll lose everything. With a final, haunted look, Alara turned and dashed toward the shadows of her pack, leaving Kaelan breathless and heartbroken. The weight of destiny hung heavy in the air as he stood alone, a silent vow forming in his heart. He would not give up on her. He would fight, not just for himself, but for the love that pulsed between them, igniting a fire that could not be extinguished. The moon hung high, a witness to their tangled fate, and Kaelan knew that their love, though challenged, would find its way one way or another. The full moon loomed overhead, casting an ethereal glow over the clearing where Kaelan stood, heart pounding with an intensity that mirrored the moon's luminescence. The air crackled with tension, a prelude to the storm brewing between the dark moon and Silverwind packs. He felt the weight of destiny pressing down on him, an undeniable force that refused to let him forget Alara. As he paced the edge of the territory, Kaelan's mind replayed the last conversation with Alara. Her tear-filled gaze haunted him, a reminder of the tangled web of duty and desire that ensnared them both. He clenched his fists, determination surging through him. He would not let fear dictate her life or his. Kaelan, Ryan's voice broke through his thoughts, pulling him from the depths of despair. You still here? The pack is worried. Kaelan turned to face his beta, frustration washing over him. Worried, they should be preparing for what is coming. I want to idle while Rowan tries to claim her. Ryan shook his head, his expression a mix of concern and resolve. You know challenging Rowan could lead to war. You risking everything our pack, your life for Alara's life. Everything is at stake. Kaelan countered, his voice rising, echoing through the trees. Alara deserves to make her choice, and I won't let anyone take that from her. Then what do you propose? Ryan asked, frustration creeping into his tone. You can't just march into Silverwind territory and demand her freedom. That is not how this works. I cannot, I will. Kaelin snapped, a flicker of anger igniting within him. If I have to stand against Rowan to save her, then so be it. I will fight for what is mine. Ryan's eyes widened, a flicker of fear crossing his features. You're not thinking clearly, Kaelin. This isn't just about love, it is about survival. Your passion could lead to destruction. Kaelin's heart ached at the thought. He exhaled sharply, his voice dropping to a whisper. If I don't fight for her, I'll lose her to a life that isn't hers. I want to stand by like a helpless bystander. Then we'll need a plan. Ryan conceded, his expression softening. But we have to be strategic. We can provoke Rowan without a solid backing. Kaelin nodded, determination filling him once more. We'll gather allies. The other packs may be wary of Rowan's ambition. If we can unite against him, we might stand a chance. As the two strategized, the night wore on, and the moon climbed higher, illuminating their path ahead. But even as hope began to blossom, Kaelin felt the weight of uncertainty. Would Allura choose freedom, or would she remain shackled by duty? The next day, Kaelin stood before the elders, their faces lined with wisdom and caution. We need to unite against Rowan, he declared, voice steady but filled with urgency. Allura deserves a choice, and we must protect her from this forced union. Elder Maris, a woman of sharp wit and fierce loyalty, studied him closely. Kaelin, your heart is admirable, but war comes at a cost. Are you prepared to shoulder that burden? Yes, he replied without hesitation. I will do anything to protect her. We must rally the other packs, show them Rowan's true nature and the threat he poses. Another elder, a grizzled wolf named Gaeric, frowned. The Silverwind packs have always been formidable allies. Turning against them could splinter our already fragile alliances. Kaelin's frustration simmered just beneath the surface. But what about Allura's happiness? We cannot ignore her future. We are bound to fight for love, are we not? Elder Maris nodded solemnly, understanding flickering in her gaze. We will support you, Kaelin, but remember, love alone cannot win this battle. You must be smart. With their blessing, Kaelin and Ryan set off to gather allies. Their journey was fraught with tension, each meeting heavy with unspoken words. They approached the Fireclaw pack first, where they found Alpha Jack, a fierce but fair leader. You seek to challenge Rowan? Jack asked, his eyes hardening. That is a dangerous game, Kaelin. What is the price you are willing to pay? Whatever it takes, Kaelin replied, his heart racing with conviction. Allura deserves to choose her destiny, not be a pawn in a political game. Will you stand with us? Jack studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. I respect your passion, Kaelin. You'll have our support, but know this, we fight together, or we fall apart. The alliances began to form, but as word spread, so did the whispers, fearful murmurs of what could happen if they moved against Rowan. Kaelin could almost feel the tension in the air, a storm brewing on the horizon. Night fell, cloaking the forest in darkness, and Kaelin found himself at the edge of Silverwind territory once more. Every instinct urged him to call out for Allura, but he knew the risk. Rowan would be watching, waiting for an opportunity to strike. With every heartbeat, he felt the pull of the bond between them. The moon illuminated the path, guiding him as he crept closer to the clearing where Allura had been last seen. He could hear laughter, a sound that once brought him joy now twisted in his gut like a blade. Then he saw her, standing under the moonlight, a vision of grace and beauty. She was surrounded by Rowan and their pack, a soft smile on her lips, but it didn't reach her eyes. The sight ignited a flame of rage within Kaelin. Kaelin. Her voice broke through the laughter, and the world around him faded. The moment their eyes met, the connection surged, a bond made of longing and pain. Allura, he breathed, stepping closer, ignoring the tension that thickened the air. I had to see you. She looked on, her heart visibly caught between two worlds. You shouldn't be here, Rowan. Rowan doesn't own you, he said, urgency tinging his voice. You have to fight for what you want. You deserve to live for yourself, not for the ambitions of others. Glancing nervously at Rowan, Allura's voice dropped to a whisper. I can betray him. I can Kaelin stepped closer, desperation flooding his heart. You are not betraying anyone. This is about your happiness, about our love. We can change everything together. Allura, what is this? Rowan's voice was sharp, cutting through the moment like a knife. He stepped forward, eyes narrowing at Kaelin. You dared to come here and disrupt our gathering? Allura's expression shifted, fear dancing in her eyes. Rowan, please, I don't want to hear it. Rowan interrupted, his voice booming. You are bound to me, your duty is to our alliance, and this traitor has no place here. Galen S. Wolf surged, rage boiling beneath the surface. I am not a traitor, I am fighting for her freedom. Rowan S. lips curled into a cruel smile. Freedom, she has made her choice, you have no claim here, leave, or I'll make you regret this. Galen, please, Alara pleaded, her voice cracking. You have to go, it is not worth it. It is worth everything, he replied, stepping closer, his heart pounding with raw emotion. You are worth everything. Enough. Rowan shouted, his anger palpable. This ends now, Alara will marry me, and you will stay out of our affairs. Never, Kaelin growled, feeling the boundaries of his restraint shatter. I will not let you take her from me. With that, he lunged forward, the primal instinct of his wolf roaring to life. But just as he did, Alara stepped between them, her hands raised in a desperate plea. Stop, she cried, tears glistening in the moonlight. Stop this madness. Both alphas froze, tension crackling in the air. Kaelin's heart raced as he looked into Alara's eyes, searching for a flicker of hope. Kaelin, she whispered, her voice trembling. I can fight this. I've tried, but Rowan, he has always been there. Your heart belongs to me, Kaelin insisted, pain lacing his voice. You can ignore that. I don't know what to do, she confessed, tears slipping down her cheeks. I feel torn. I want to be free, but I can't hurt anyone. Rowan stepped closer, a predatory glint in his eyes. You see, she has made her choice. Save yourself the humiliation and leave. But the fire within Kaelin blazed brighter than ever. Alara, choose me. Fight for us. I'll protect you, no matter the cost. As the world fell silent, Alara's gaze shifted between them, the struggle evident on her face. I can bear this. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I can keep pretending. Then Kaelin urged, stepping closer. Alara's heart raced as she stood between the two alphas, their intensity encompassing her like a storm. The weight of their gaze bore down on her, a fierce reminder of the impossible choice she faced. Kaelin's eyes, filled with raw emotion, seemed to call to her soul. Rowan's presence felt suffocating, a reminder of duty and the chains that bound her. Don't you see? Kaelin pressed, stepping closer, his voice low and rich with desperation. This isn't just about power or alliances, it is about us, your happiness, your choice, you were meant for more than this. I never wanted this. Alara cried, tears spilling down her cheeks. I never wanted to be anyone else's pawn, but I can't just walk away from everything, my family, my pack. Rowan scoffed, his demeanor hardened like granite. Your family, your pack, they'll understand once you see reason. This is a union forged for the strength of our kind. You are safe with me, Alara. I will protect you. Protect me? Galen spat, his wolf howling for freedom beneath his skin. You see her as an asset. She deserves love, not a gilded cage. Alara's voice trembled as she looked from one alpha to the other. I need time. I can just choose right now. It is all too much. Rowan advanced, his eyes narrowing dangerously. You need to stop indulging your fantasies, Alara. You are engaged to me. The time for choices is over. Galen surged forward, the energy between them igniting like wildfire. You don't own her, Rowan. She is not yours to command. She'll never be happy with you, and deep down, you know it. Rowan's lips curled into a snarl, revealing his true nature. You think I am afraid of a challenge? I could crush you here and now. Then do it, Kaelin challenged, his voice steady despite the storm within. But know that if you lay a finger on me, you'll expose your true colors to both packs. You'll show Alara that you are not the protector you claim to be. A primal growl echoed from Rowan, his form shifting as his wolf surged beneath the surface, ready to strike. But Alara stepped forward, her hands raised to calm the mounting tension. Stop, both of you. Stay out of this, Alara. Rowan barked, his voice filled with fury. This is not your fight. But Alara held her ground, the tears still glistening in her eyes. No, this is my life. I want to let you fight over me like I am a trophy. I am not a piece on your chessboard, Rowan. The silence that enveloped them felt almost sacred, as if the moon itself paused to witness Alara's resolve. Kaelin's heart raced as he watched her stand tall against the tide of pressure closing in on her and Omega finding her voice amid the chaos. Kaelin, she pleaded, turning to him with anguish. What do I do? I can hurt Rowan. He has been good to me. He cares. But does he love you? Kaelin's voice was raw, layered with longing and desperation. You may feel obligated to him, but you deserve someone who sees you, who knows your heart, not someone who sees you as a means to an end. Love her. Rowan scoffed, shaking his head in disbelief. What do you know of love, Kaelan? You think you understand the depths of devotion. You are simply infatuated. There's a difference. Kaelan's eyes blazed with intensity as he refused to back down. My love is rooted in freedom and choice, while yours is built upon chains and obligations. Alara deserves more than a life of compliance. Alara's heart thudded painfully in her chest, caught in the crossfire of their confrontation. I can't let this go any further. I refuse to let either of you become my enemy. You must come to an understanding. Rowan's expression hardened, his posture aggressive. Understanding? There is no understanding here, Alara. You are bound to me. Your duty is to honor our pact. Kaelan stepped closer, his voice dropping, filled with a gentleness that contrasted the tension surrounding them. Alara, don't let fear decide your fate. You have the right to choose your own destiny. I will fight for you, but I need you to fight for yourself as well. She met his gaze, and something shifted in, an understanding that ran deeper than words. But how can I choose, knowing that it could harm my family? She whispered, her breath hitching with uncertainty. The greatest harm is to live a life void of love and passion, Kaelan whispered, his heart aching for her. You deserve more than this. You deserve to chase your dreams, to feel alive. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she felt the weight of his words. She looked at Rowan, then back to Kaelan, and was etched on her face. What if I choose wrong? Choose your heart, Kaelan implored, stepping closer until they were nearly touching, an invisible tether binding them together. Whatever you decide, I will respect it, but you must follow your truth. Rowan's expression twisted, the possessiveness rolling off him in waves. You repoisoning her mind, Kaelan. You'll pay for this. Kaelan's gaze didn't waver as he replied, If you think you can intimidate me into silence, you're mistaken. I am not leaving her side, not now, not ever. The air crackled with tension, and Alara felt the gravity of the moment pulling her in two directions. I need to think, she finally cried, her voice breaking as she stepped back, torn apart by the imminent clash between them. Think quickly, Alara, Rowan said sharply, a growl edging his voice. Time is not on your side. Kaelan's eyes softened as he focused on her. Take the time you need, but remember this is your life, fight for it. With a last glance at both alphas, Alara turned, retreating into the depths of the Silverwind territory. Her heart raced, confusion coursing through her veins. Each step felt heavier than the last, the weight of destiny heavy upon her shoulders. As she vanished into the shadows, the tension between the two alphas erupted, a wildfire of emotions and primal instincts. Kaelan held his ground, his resolve unwavering. You'll never truly possess her, Rowan. Deep down, you know it. Rowan lunged forward, each muscle cold with anger. You think I am afraid? I'll crush you if it means keeping her. Then come at me, Kaelan growled, letting his wolf surface. But know this, I will fight for Alara, and I will not back down. The air between them thickened, the primal energy swirling in a dangerous dance. As they circled each other, Kaelan felt the pull of fate tightening around him, the moon illuminating their confrontation with an eerie glow. But instead of letting the fight escalate into violence, Kaelan found strength in his love for Alara. This isn't just about you, it's about her. Let her choose. Rowan hesitated, his fury simmering just beneath the surface. You think you can sway me with your idealism? You are a fool, Kaelan. Perhaps, Kaelan replied, his voice steady. But I am a fool who believes in love, something you may never understand. At that moment, a howl echoed through the night. Alara's voice, rising like a phoenix into the sky, a plea for peace, for resolution. A reminder that love, even in the face of adversity, could triumph. Kaelan's heart leapt as he felt the intensity of her emotions, a storm of confusion and longing. She was still fighting, still searching for clarity. Rowan's expression shifted, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. What if she chooses you? Kaelan held his breath, the weight of the question hanging in the air. Then I will cherish her, protect her, and help her forge her own path. She deserves a love that sets her free. That is a dangerous gamble, Rowan warned, his tone low and dangerous. One I won't allow. But just as he spoke, Alara re-emerged from the shadows, breathless and radiant under the moon's soft glow. Stop, she cried, her voice strong and unwavering. Both of you. Their attention turned to her, a palpable silence following her command. She stood tall, eyes glistening with unshed tears, but a fire burned in her gaze. I've made my choice. Kaelan's heart raced, hope blooming within him as he stepped closer. Alara. But she held up her hand, silencing him. I need you both to listen. This is my life. I want to be used as a bargaining chip in your games. Rowan's eyes narrowed, but Alara continued, voice steady. I love you both in different ways, but I refuse to let either of you dictate my future. I need to find my own path. Kaelan felt a rush of emotions, fear, pride, and an overwhelming sense of admiration as he watched her stand firm. Alaro I can be your enemy, Rowan,